Alright, YouTube, I don't really know how to say this, so I'm just gonna come out and say it, but I think we need to talk. We need to go over some things in our relationship, because I'm thinking that we're starting to run into some problems, and I think the best way to tackle these problems is to just address them head on, and just get them out in the open, you know? So, that's like a half-serious intro. Yeah, this is your preemptive July update, lasers and sound effects. Woo! Anyway, so for July, I'm gonna do the game schedule first. I'm gonna do the big. I want to talk about this shit after. So the game schedule. Main games are gonna be Hollow Knight, Darkest Dungeon, Final Fantasy 15, Dark Souls 3, and then Deus Ex is hanging on. You know, like the rope got cut at Dark Souls 3, or like it's starting to get cut. You know, like they're climbing a mountain together to the peak of YouTube success, and Deus Ex is at the bottom, and it's hanging on because the rope's starting to break. You know, like some cliffhanger action. It's not because I don't want to play the game. It's because PC games are hard right now for me to record, so I'll go into that further in a second. My secondary games are going to be Turok 1 and 2, Banjo-Tooie, Jet Force Gemini, and my enormous video game backlog of shit like Resident Evil 5, which I've been saying I'm going to do and I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do the backlog first. So it's going to be like Resident Evil, Mighty Number 9, probably Mighty Number 9 first. I butchered that when I said it, but I'm going to do that first, then Resident Evil, if the footage isn't corrupted. I mean, the Resident Evil 5 footage has been sitting on my computer for about 4 years, and I recorded it with different software and a different device, and I don't know if it expires or something. I don't fucking know. It's in a different format and everything too. That's the... oh shit. That's gonna be hard. It's in... okay, so when I record normally, this is a small thing right here, I record in MP4 now. The old device I had used to be .mt2s or something, and my version of Vegas for some reason doesn't recognize it, so I'm gonna have to do something. I have to like render it in my old software and then put it in Vegas and make it that way. So that's actually me a pain in the ass. Anyway, I lost my train of thought there. So the reason that I'm doing... well, okay, so let's go over it. Hollow Knight's almost done. I don't know if I'm going to 100% it just because there's... like, I don't know if I can do it without a guide at this point. I can't find a couple certain things, and all I have left really to do is the Colosseum and the, well, the last thing in the Colosseum, and then what I'm assuming is the final boss, whatever the Black Egg Temple is going on, because I've beat all the Dreamers and stuff like that. So, yeah. And then Darkest Dungeon, I've been saying it for a while, I'm going to focus hard on that when it comes out, and I have been, and it's been really fun. I've recorded 11 parts of the DLC so far, and it was fun, and I just finished the Baron Quest, and that was pretty fun, but at the same time, what really sucked was that epic length quest is what it is. Like, there's no camping, you have to like retreat and come back. That's how they have you beat it, which is kind of cool, and I'll talk about more of that, I guess, later on. Not in this video. I'm going to talk about that in Darkest Dungeon. And I hope I didn't say Dark Souls earlier. Anyway, yeah, so I spent like 5 hours trying to kill the Baron, because that quest is so fucking long. Because you have to go in, you know, clear as much as you can, leave, and come back. And it took a long time. I did it over the weekend. Yeah, so that's going to be coming. That's like part 11 is where I finish it. Final Fantasy 15, I'm going to try and make an honest effort to push through part 44 really quickly in the next couple days, because part 44 is where I complete the main story of the game, like the main boss or whatever. And after I do that, it's 18 videos of extra content, like the side questing and stuff like that, so I'm going to do that after. I feel like I can go a little slower with that, even though I've been going slow as fuck, you know, the whole time, and that really hurts me, because I feel like when I go super slow with my uploads on a series, I just kill, you know, any views that I get for it at some point. Not that Final Fantasy 15 is super popular. It's more, I recorded 60 hours of this shit, so I gotta put it up, even though I really enjoyed it. So I need to finish that, yeah, like I need to get through 44 really quickly, so I'm gonna try and do that in the next 2 weeks. I'm gonna try and have it done. I've got about 6 videos to go, 5 or 6. And then Dark Souls 3, I honestly don't want to play. I'm gonna be straight up right there. There's no bone in my body saying, hey, play Dark Souls 3. Just none. But that's a situation of where once I get into it for like 2 hours, then I start kind of enjoying it. You know, I start going, okay, this is kind of fun now. And what is it? I am mostly doing it just because, for one, I've done so much Dark Souls already. It's kind of like you have to finish it. Then also at the same time, that's one of the few situations where I can say I need to do this because I actually get views. You know, I shouldn't say that I'm not wanting success. That's not what's happening, you know. Like, I want people to see my shit, obviously. And so Dark Souls is kind of a, people watch this, so I need to make it kind of thing. It's not a, I want to play this game right now. And then Deus Ex, I was sent a link on fixing my lighting problem, so I'm going to try and work with that. And I don't want to record PC games for a little bit before or after this. I don't know, I might stop at Darkest Dungeon and Hollow Knight, but the reason is my computer is just so, I cracked my knuckle there, but yeah, my computer is so beat to shit, because I've had it for 7 years, and it's been making videos for at least 4 or 5 of those years. 5 years. It'll be 5 years in November that I've been making videos, and it's like, it's going to, it's beat to hell. Everything's worn out. I've had to replace a couple parts, and now my processor is just, it's dying. It's, you know, every time I look in my computer, I see my processor hooked up to all the heart machines and, you know, the breathing stuff, and it's got the little heart monitor, and it's going the beep beep, and I'm sitting there, I'm holding its hand, and my video card's holding the other hand, and we're like, just hang on, processor. Just last a little longer until I can fucking get a new computer. And I thought about replacing the processor itself, but like I've said before, my motherboard is so old anyway, I'd have to replace my motherboard first, and then get a processor, and I have an older video card anyway. I have a 970, and it's just, at this point, you know, I could replace all that for a couple hundred, but it's like I could spend a little more and just update literally everything in the computer and just get a new one. So I'm going to do that when I can. I'm trying to save up the money right now, but because recording PC games is kind of hard right now, even these low definition ones, you know, these non-graphically intensive games like Hollow Knight and Darkest Dungeon, you know, they run smooth when I'm recording and stuff like that, but I can't even hold 60 frames when I'm recording them. Darkest Dungeon I kind of get away with because it's a little less intensive than Hollow Knight, so I keep it that way. Plus the first videos were 60 frames, and now I'm still having more trouble. But I can barely record HD with PC games right now because my computer's so torn up and old and it can't handle it. So I need to make that update, which is why I want to go back to console games. And the thing that sucks about console games is that what is it? On my Xbox, there's just nothing I want to play. Maybe I'll go back to my 360. Holy shit! But there's not stuff I want to play on the Xbox One. And the same thing's for PS4 too. There are like 2 games that I would get for PS4 right now, and the rest I'm just, nah, I don't care. So I don't know, I'm kind of in a toughie there. So that's our schedule. That was in 9 minutes, right? So just to recap, Hollow Knight, Darkest Dungeon, Final Fantasy 15, Dark Souls 3, Deus Ex. Those are the primary games, meaning I'm going to focus on those the most. I'm going to try and get those done. Secondary games are going to be my video backlog. That's going to be the first thing I do for the secondary stuff. And Turok 1 and 2, Banjo-Tooie, Jet Force Gemini, and then some console stuff, and then whatever else I come across, maybe some one-shot videos, I don't know yet. Because I forgot about that, because I have a little notepad open with the talking points, right? I'm trying to make this super tryhard.